Hey guys, it's Ben's Data Diaries again. Today I want to show you how to find a string across multiple lines. So it's not in the same line, it's distributed across multiple lines. And you might think that this is a really easy task to do in Python, but it turns out that you need to know some things in advance to make your life easier. So let's have a look at an example. I've prepared this test string here. You might be familiar with it. It's a common test string in Latin that is used for layouting in web development. And let's say I want to find a certain phrase in here, like 3 words, no matter where they appear in the text. For example, I'm looking at this here, these 3 words, and I'm trying to find how often this pattern repeats in the text. As you might know from web development, so you basically copy the same text over and over. So this same subphrase will appear multiple times. So should be easy, right? So what I do is first of all, I save this string here and I print it out. So nothing fancy here, it just resembles what we see over here, exact same structure. So now let's try to use the regex library to find all occurrences of this pattern here. And click here. You see, first of all, it doesn't find anything, which is a little weird. You might think, okay, it's in here, seems to be exactly the same pattern, but it just doesn't find it. Okay, so after some Googling and checking Stack Overflow, you might come across these flags that you can set in the library, which is a multiline or .all. So let's see if, it makes sense. You want to find a string across multiple lines. So let's use multiline here. Also, nothing returned. Let's try the .all because it comes up in a lot of Stack Overflow posts. Also doesn't find anything. So what's going on here? First of all, let's check the documentation for this library. So for multiline, when specified, the pattern character caret matches at the beginning of the string and at the beginning of each line. Same goes for the dollar character at the end of the line or at the end of the string. So as you might know, by default, the caret only matches the beginning of the string and the dollar the end of the string. But when you set multiline, the same goes for each line of the string. So let's have a look at what .all does. It makes the dot, the special character that matches any character, also match new lines. So by default, it doesn't match new lines, including .all, it does match new lines. So going back to our test file, why did these flags not work in this test example? As we see here, individuant ut is separated by a new line. Here starts a new line. And over here, we find it as well, also separated by a new line. So what multiline does, it basically would see over here that this is the beginning of a line and this is the end of a line. So we match this phrase whenever it's at the beginning of the line, we could do that. But since it is here at the end and it starts at the next line, this multiline match doesn't really help us in this case. And same for .all. For .all, in the search string, you need to use the dot character somewhere. And since we're not using it, we're just trying to identify this specific pattern. It also doesn't help us. But we need to do something about the white spaces and the line breaks. So the way the string is displayed when you use the print command is not what Python actually in the background really sees. But you can also see what Python really sees by using the wrapper command. So to get the object representation, so printing here. And you see now that in the background, these line breaks are displayed as actually characters, like the \n, and on other systems can also be \r. There can be tabs like \t and stuff like that. So you see over here the string that we're looking for, individuant ut labore, in between has this \n character here. So the first idea would be to just try and replace this \n character. So let's do that. And when we do this, you see that here the \n is now gone. And if we just try to run the search command or the find all command using the \n replaced by whitespace, you will see that we now find one occurrence, this individuum ut labora. But why does it only find one? Because actually there's two in there. We have this one here, but there's also one over here, individuum ut labora. But you see that there's an additional white space over here, which has been added by this replace method. So if we go back to the original file, you will see that this one here, individuum ut labora. So what it doesn't see over here is that there's also white space at the end of the line. And so we have white space and we have \n and then the next line. So by just replacing this, we don't find this occurrence here. So here's another approach on how to actually do it. What we do over here is we use this character here, which is a specific operator. So it matches Unicode whitespace characters, which includes this \t for tab, a \n, that what we saw, \r, \f, and others. And it can just be done by using this one special character, \s. So let's try what we get when we use this one instead, between the words. So here we now find this match, and also it shows that there's this line break over here, but it still only finds one occurrence, and we want to find both occurrences. So there's one thing that's still missing. We don't only want to find a single occurrence of these white spaces or line breaks. We also want to cover the case that we saw above, where we had all of a sudden two white spaces, or a line break and a white space. So we do that by, behind this special character, the \s, adding a plus symbol, which means it can occur once, but also multiple white spaces or line breaks followed by each other are allowed. And if we do this, we all of a sudden find both occurrences. So I added these brackets over here, but actually they are not really required. So here's the final example where I remove the brackets and just type \s plus \s plus between the words. And you will see that now I get all the occurrences. So I hope this was also useful for you guys. These are just some links that I was researching to find this. So looking forward to meeting you again on this channel. Don't forget to subscribe and have a nice day.